I don't know if that's live yet. Uh, oh, yeah. All right. I am live. Cool. So I don't think anyone is watching yet. If anyone is, how is my audio? Mm, all right. Should be able to see any comments I get. All right. Yeah. All right. I am live. Hello. Good morning. What's up? Okay. It probably won't be today. It'll probably be Monday. I generally don't work on the weekends. Uh, it was just that yeah, I had to go to Denton anyway. So the weekends I try to get stuff done, around my house and whatnot. And because during the week I generally stay pretty darn busy. Okay. Well, then maybe later on in the future we'll uh, work on something else, but it would have to be something that's planned, not just something that's dropped at the last minute. Because today, I'm going to be pretty booked up, you know, uh, working on my truck. So, brakes. Uh, the somewhat the fronts are discs, but the rears are drum discs. It's both, but that's what you get when you have a 1 ton truck. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. It's a 2006 Dodge Ram 3500 Cummins 6 speed. Uh, it's meant to pull down your house and take out the trash all at the same time. Oh, nice. Well, yeah, 10 in the morning would be fine. Yes. Send it to me if I have a little bit of time. I'll take a look at it. I'm just sitting here drinking a cup of tea, sitting at my desk, so that's why I took the call. So, not a problem. Have a good one. Bye. All right. Well, I generally don't take calls on the weekend, guys, but that was a phone call because I see I got a few people watching now. To pick up some some more product. So yeah. Uh, Today this I'm probably not gonna keep or save this live. I probably would delete it after tonight or something. So it's just gonna be like a mosh posh of, I guess you could say, kind of like a Twitch deal. Um, I got a few things I'm working on and thought that I'll go live today, talk to y'all. Um, and this. Uh, yeah. All right. Hey, Kevin. Glad that you like my content. Um, that means quite a bit. I like it when people like my content. Um, I make videos just because I find it fun. Um, I'm gonna miss trucking a little bit. Sorry, if I'm looking this way on the screen, I have another computer screen right here, and then I got my laptop right here, and then you guys are sitting right there. So if I'm looking that way, I'm looking at you guys. It doesn't look like that. I also got some crypto uh, things over here on the other screen. Um, and I'm probably going to do or show my screen here in a little bit. Um, I'm just finishing up a few other things right here. So let's remove that one. Um, oh, that reminds me, I need to do something on my phone here. So I picked up some new product the other day, yesterday. We're going to take a look at it here in just a second. Um, Once I get it downloaded over here. So if I take a phone call, sorry about that. Um, Generally, I'm not going to try to take that many calls. So I see that there's 4 people watching. I see one is Ken. Who else is watching today? Oh, wow. I'm sitting at almost 10,000 subscribers. 9.9. I didn't even notice that. Wow, guys. That's pretty cool. While that uploads. Oh, that's not where they're at. Alright. Oh, I'll put my cup right where you guys see nothing but see that. So I've been picking up some phone deals. I got 2. I actually had another one, but that one's already sold. These, though, is the Samsung S21 FE, as you can see right there. 256 GB. These are already listed up on my eBay. One sold. I think it's this black one. I should actually probably double check that. I'm pretty sure it's the black one. Waiting shipment. View order details. Yes, the black one. Black one is sold. I got this lavender one. The color is actually pretty interesting. I'll just put those on my printer. Also sold some gold. That's down there. I gotta get those boxed up for tomorrow. Did these finish uploading? Yes. So we'll get these downloaded. And then I'll switch to this screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let me refill my tea. Desktop. Install. Oh, 3 watching. Well, I guess that's better than none. Alright. Let me switch it to this one. Alright. So I'm picking up, or I already did, some car parts. And these are going to get listed up on my eBay soon. And so, yeah. Brand new Edelbrock 1906. Taking really good photographs. Really helps. These are not remanufactured. These are actually brand new. So that's why I opened up this, so you can look down inside, see that there's, you know, nothing there. And then I got 2 of these. I'm going to get some more of those here soon, though, probably later on today or tomorrow. I'm hoping these sell kind of quick. This is not like a Milwaukee, but, you know, it's not bad. You know, I might even keep one because, no, I don't know. Maybe. I kind of want to try to keep everything the same battery family. Now, they do make really good air tools. It does come with 2 batteries, a charger, a bag. That's a power cord right there. So it's a really nice kind of setup. And then I have a Holley carburetor. That's the information on it. Always take good quality photos. Same thing I did with the Holley. Went in there, opened it up so you could see all the way through and all that. So yeah, going to be getting those listed. We can come over here. Oops. We can come over here. We can see that I've not been selling as much right here. I've not had that much product come in. This was a really good sale day, the 26th. So I need to try to fill this spot up a little bit. But overall, I think I'm doing quite well. We could even go over and look at my reviews. You know, great review. And I've had some people that have been really quite happy. Although I did open up a eBay store. So I ended up doing this because it's cheaper in the long run with how much I was paying in eBay fees. And we can go over to the paid and shipped. And, you know, for instance, actually, I could just pull this calculator over here. So this right here, I'm just gonna take that out. Doesn't matter. Shipping cost was doesn't matter. So we're just gonna put 1. So this was a 2,000 order right here. So 2,000. No store, above standard, which is what I am. And we can see that the fee was 160. So we'll put 160 on the calculator. Now, if the only thing we change is go back to basic, we see, oh, I'm in the wrong section. So I reset this computer. So I'm looking at buying some other products and putting on my eBay. Thank you for asking, Teresa. My recovery is, yeah, I'm waiting for surgery. So my left arm does not work like it should. Um, I can bend it just fine at the elbow, but I can't like move my arm up at all. Let me switch it back over to my view. All right. So like this is my right arm. I can't do this with my left. I can't put my arm out and like move it, anything like that. And if I do try to pick it up to about like here, and I have anything in the hand, my hand gets real shaky. It hurts, and I mean, it might as well be trying to pick up 100 pounds. It's not going to happen. So yeah. Anyway, um, so 2000 eBay no store. There we go. That's more like it. So 251.3. Now, thank you, Teresa. I'm waiting to. I should be seeing the surgeon this coming week. So hopefully I find out something more. So 251 on the eBay fee for 2000. We changed that to a store. We see it drops down to 131. So subtract 131.6 equals. That's $119 savings on just one deal. Now the eBay store for the basic level is like 20, we'll say $25 a month. So I had to pay $25. So I saved $94 on just one deal. And I've sold those same laptops a few times. So here's the $2,000 order right here. And then here's the same laptops. And here's for 3,000. So I would bring this back. And we could take a look at seeing what the savings would be for 3,000. No store, so 376. Subtract. Just change the one thing, go back to basic. So 175.8. So that would have been a $200 savings on just that one deal. So if you're selling, quite a bit on eBay, investing in the eBay store is definitely the way to go. It allows you to keep a higher profit margin, but you really want to have consistent sales. So last month I didn't get it. This month I do. I sure will, Teresa. I'm hoping to know more about my arm situation too. Like I was saying, I should be seeing the orthopedic doctor um, this coming week. The insurance, because it was a vehicle accident, and it's kind of like a workman's comp deal, but it's not workman's comp because I was self-employed. All right, I got a phone call. Hello. Nothing much. You? Uh, do I buy iPhones or do I have an iPhone? Uh, no, not right now. Sorry. Oh, you have the parts. Um, I don't really deal with iPhone parts. Oh, okay, okay. I was getting confused there. Okay. Uh, to sell what? Yeah, yeah. Today I'm actually busy doing other stuff. I'll be available tomorrow. I generally try not to work on the weekends. That's when I try to plan out to doing other stuff that I got going. Okay. A fuel pump. Yes, sir. Yep. Stefan. All right. Have a good one. Bye. Sometimes when people call me, it can be a little confusing if they just jump into a conversation without like explaining it first. You know, I deal with so many people. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep things straight. But that was a guy. He sold some stuff to me. He has some more, and he wants to buy a car. It's the white car. I was going to give it away. I'm going to do a video on it. I did. I was trying to work on it a little bit, and with my arm the way that it is, I just can't do it. So I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna sell the car, and I'm gonna try to do something different to try to help other people. So I'll keep you guys posted. But I promise that wasn't clickbait. Uh, so where was I? Oh, if any of you guys have a question, just post them down below. Uh, all right. I think I had to turn down my mic a little bit. It's clipping. Hopefully that's not clipping anymore. Um, let's take a look at my active listings. So, hold on. All right. All right. So here's my active listings right now. I still have this one phone right now. Here, let me blow this up. So I got this one phone right here. It's available. I've only 84 views, so I might try to drop the price down a little bit to try to get a little bit more views. This one, I had this one listed for 700. Nobody was really jumping on it, so I've had this phone. Let me take a look. I got the thing right here. Um, that's Samsung Z Flip. Item number in my spreadsheet over here, 57. I've had that phone for 14 days now, um, and that's really at my limit of. Actually, I might need to refresh that. Yeah, so 15 days. So I've had this phone for 15 days. That's really longer than I want to keep it for, so I switch it to auction. Hopefully, I'll make a little bit of money on it. Oh, Justin. Yeah, I'll explain that here in a second. That was actually pretty funny. Um, so yeah, it actually took me a second when he said that to figure out what you were talking about, but now I remember that, dude. Um, actually, you know what? Let's stop doing this part right here. Uh, Although I do need to do some listing here in a little bit, but I'm gonna do that off camera. All right, so story time. Uh, I'm an admin in a trucking group, and at the time I was driving for Swift, and I was a trainer over there, and this guy, you know how difficult it is to try to do simple stuff when your arm's not working right? You know, you gotta just rely on your elbow. Anyway, so this guy, I can't remember exactly what it was over, but he just started like shit posting. And I was the admin of the group, so I was like trying to tell him, hey, quit, basically quit being a shit poster. And he, this was on Facebook, so he had my name. And he found out that I worked for Swift, you know, slightly had a YouTube channel, and I have no problem wearing a Swift shirt. So then he starts calling me out for being a Swift driver and whatever, and was trying to insult me. I grew up in a family of six. I got two sisters and three younger brothers. Um, it takes a lot to insult me. And so he was some of his insults were just really lame. And so I asked him if he needed to use if he was using Google to come up with, you know, like insults and to get off like page three or, you know, first three or whatever, because, you know, his insults were really lame. And so then I was trying to help him to insult me, which I thought was hilarious. You know, I'm insulting myself, trying to help him, you know, give him clues on how to do it. And he then finds a picture. I don't even remember what he was calling me. It was kind of funny though. And it was a picture of like when I was like 15, 16 years old. And I'm like, yo, you just proved that you're Googling things to try to insult me. Because he literally had to use Google to find that picture. Because that picture's not on my Facebook. Or at least I don't think it is. I don't know. So, yeah. Uh, Guy just went on a weird trip. It was pathetically sad and funny at the same time. All right. You know, I'm wondering if this might be better as like doing it as a Twitch stream instead of like YouTube. Because honestly, I'm not gonna save this video, so anyone who's watching, this video is gonna be deleted after I'm done upload or after this live deal. Um, this is just me kind of like killing some time, talking with y'all, um, and sitting at my computer. So, yeah. Oh, you enjoyed my cooking videos? All right. I was actually thinking about doing some, but to really record effectively in a kitchen, much less a truck, um, it's not really easy. On cooking videos, they make it look really easy, like, you know, the angles and stuff. Um, but yeah, I can definitely make some more. I don't think I'm the best cook in the world, but everybody seems to enjoy my cooking. Um, and I will say this, guys. Even though I'm not doing really trucking videos anymore, I know a lot of you guys are truck drivers or looking into truck driving. Seriously, buy yourself the magnetic cook plate. Okay, don't get the one where the coils get hot. You want the induction. I couldn't remember that word. Oh my god. You want the induction cooktop. Reason being, it's not going to cause a fire. And it also heats up really quick too, which is nice. But being able to cook food and eat good food when you're out on the road, it's such a morale booster. It's not even funny because, you know, eating truck stop food, I don't care what truck stop. You know, even if it's Denny's, okay? If you eat the same food group all the time, one, you're going to get sick and tired of it. Two, your health is going to start to suffer. Okay? You really need to make sure you're getting a good balance in your food. Um, yeah, Teresa. Let's talk about trucking a little bit. Although I already kind of am. Let me move you guys over to this screen so it doesn't look like I'm ignoring y'all. So, so let's actually talk about that, guys. And that's actually why I'm moving you guys over here so I can see. I'm gonna quit working for right this second. So I'm still 100% employed with Orozco. I can drive tomorrow if my doctor cleared me. So I'm waiting for surgery. This left arm, I I don't have range of motion and I don't have strength in it. There's two tears in my rotator cuff. I don't know how bad on the MRI scan. It didn't say like how big the tear is or how small. Um, so I have to go to an orthopedic surgeon and find. Basically, my doctor's saying it's looking like I'm going to need surgery, but he wants to send me off to a specialist. So off to the specialist I have to go. But let's get past that. Let's say the doctor's like, hey, you're good to go driving again. Do I want to go driving again? I really don't know, guys. I would like to start my own company, which is what I'm trying to do right now. Um, but do I want to go back to driving? That's a really hard question. Um, the accident, dude, that fucking scared me. And I'm like 90% sure you guys all seen, the photos of it. But, uh, I mean, let me pull this up. The, I, so these two tires back here are gone. That's Layla standing next to this guy. I think he was the first one that was on scene. I don't remember. Um, I was partly out of the windshield. And I remember somebody asking me like, "Oh my God, dude, are you alive?" And or something like that. I was still really confused as to what was going on. Um, so yeah. Um, so yeah, you can see this tire got blown right there. The rims are screwed. Um, this looks like a bush. That's actually a tree. It's just you gotta take into account. Well, look how small that guy looks. Okay, that's down an embankment. The truck, it slid up the embankment right here, plowing it all the way through. But the front suspension right here is broke. And yeah, that was a really wild ride. Um, so do I want to go back into a truck? Man, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I'm actually scared. Uh, I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. It was, I don't know. Um, Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to, but sorry, I'm thinking back to that accident now. It happened just before Thanksgiving. I was really scared that Layla was going to die. Um, and then with my arm being almost completely useless and still pretty useless, um, just the amount of stress. Um, the other downside is I was making $600 every day, and now my disability pay only pays 500 a week, which is why I'm being forced to try to do something about it because my doctor's saying I'm probably not going to be driving the rest of this year, and I only have so much money. So before I go broke, I have to make some lateral moves. But would I go back and drive for El Roscoe? If not for the accident, 100%. I really did love working there. Um, the people were awesome. Uh, but now let's just talk about trucking in general. The first month, I think I was kind of happy about not driving. Um, I guess being able to relax, take it easy, um, on top of healing, but I'm saying not having to drive. It was kind of nice. Um, Teresa, nobody has told me yet, so I have no idea. Um, all I know is it's a huge insurance issue, um, and that's about as much as I know right now. Uh, but after 3 weeks, I started to feel a little star crazy, and there's things about driving now that I'm not doing it. There's things I really do miss. Uh, being or going back to OTR driving versus doing the Walmart. Being OTR, I've it's just seeing the open road, um, eating some really interesting food, and just the freedom. You're going everywhere. Um, it's a little surreal-ish at times. It's very fun and can be frustrating. Trucking can definitely be frustrating, but I miss those beautiful open backcountry roads where you can sit back, you got your music turned on, you got whatever your drink is, either it be, a soda, a water, hot tea, which is what I'm drinking right now, uh, in my Texas cup. I don't know if you guys ever seen this cup. I found this cup at a gas station, and it has cities written all the way around it. I've been to every single one of those, so I had to buy it. But whatever you're drinking, you got some snacks. Either for me it was pistachios. I really like pistachios, um, or whatever. You're just sitting there. The weather's nice. Your music is going. It's just nice. That level of calm, I guess, is it's a beautiful thing. And I miss that. I really do. Uh, I miss people. Meeting people out on the open road, either it be other truck drivers or some of the people at the truck stops. Uh, when you're at a truck stop, you can come across people from all over the world. And it could be very interesting, if you're in there eating, some food or whatever, and you get to talk to some other people. Uh, yeah, but the open road, the food, and just going places that you would never go for vacation. Okay, vacation is you just see some of the most beautiful places. And I know the next question one of y'all are going to ask: what were some of the places I've gone that I love the most, or that I like to drive in? Okay, that one is a little tricky. So I'm not going to be able just to pick one. So I'm going to give my general idea. And you know what? No, I'm not even going to need to open up a map. I was going to open up a map. I really enjoyed driving in the Northwest. So Oregon, Washington, that group of states up there, because you're driving along rivers, you're driving along mountainsides, you got woods, you got like beautiful houses, and I'm not talking about big houses, but small houses that are tucked up in the woods, and they're just pretty. Um, Up there, listen to some music, especially if it's a little cold. You got yourself some, like a hot drink. That's just beautiful. I love driving. Excuse me, up in the Northwest. Um, the other area that's really nice, but as a truck driver, you don't go there all that often. But I would say going through the redwoods of California. Okay, so that would be on the eastern edge of California, right by the desert area. But there's some areas where you could drive right through the redwoods. And driving through there, if you haven't yet, it is very unique in the sense that you're when you're driving through there, there's like very little to no underbrush. So you can see for miles, maybe not miles, but you can see right through the woods. And you can see animals and deer and bear and like all these different creatures. And you're like, wait, I can see you. Um, that's very unique. Um, Kind of surreal, beautiful rides. Um, South Dakota. Uh, yeah, I've been through Sioux Falls a few times. South Dakota is quite nice. It is kind of flat though. Driving through Wyoming is quite nice too. It's a very nice rolling plain. Um, Wyoming hasn't been like overly built out, so Wyoming's pretty nice. Um, and then if you get down to like the mountain pass up on I have the name of the mountain pass. I just can't remember it. It's the one on the East Coast though. You're driving through there, that area. Beautiful roads. Really nice. Actually really do enjoy driving up in New York State. So going to the New York City doesn't bother me, but upstate New York, they got some beautiful roads to drive on. Um, and you got like these little Amish communities. You got uh, some beautiful farmland. It's rolling hills, mountains, twisty roads. I find that to be a lot of fun. Vermont is beautiful, but if you ever heard your grandparents say they walked up hills both ways while going to school or going to work or whatever, they probably lived in Vermont. Vermont, I don't know how, but I swear to you, you only go up both ways. It doesn't matter if you're going the opposite way, you're still going up. Physics. Or, I don't know, that state was just like laws of physics. No, we don't agree with that. You climb up. No matter which way you're going up a mountainside. Um, Worst place to drive a truck for that reason, because you really need to be on top of your game driving in the mountains. And your speed, forget it. You're doing 15, 20 miles an hour through the whole freaking state. It's just nothing but one big mountain that goes up in both directions. If you've been to Vermont as a truck driver, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That state will literally take your time away. Driving up in Maine, beautiful, beautiful state. And the main highway in Maine is right along the ocean line. Beautiful. I was about to put my tea right where you guys would block the camera again. Um, I love driving in Texas, but I live in Texas and I love Texas. So that could be a very biased opinion. But driving through the backwoods of Texas, the back roads and whatnot, I love it. It's beautiful to me. Um, Arkansas is pretty nice, very wooded, um, and I kind of like that. Um, Although my opinion is the police in Arkansas can be a little hard on truck drivers. Do not park. You you have to be very careful where you park in Arkansas. Like if you're at a rest area but you're not in a parking spot, they will give you a ticket for it if they feel like it. Arkansas, they can be really really picky on that. So not a very trucker friendly state. Um, yeah, just sitting here, I miss the open road. Um, I might. I wonder how difficult it would be for me to, jump on somebody else's truck for a week or so to just experience the open road again. Uh, yeah, Montana is beautiful. Um, that's the thing I'm gonna say. People have traveled to go to all these different states, and they generally fly, or they take the main highway or whatever. But as a truck driver, you take the shortest distance, the most direct route. It's going to get you where you need to go the fastest because we're not going on vacation. We're just going from point A to point B. So the amount of roads that you're going to experience so much quicker than you would by going on vacation once a year, twice a year. There's no other job like it. Um, and you go on some roads that are just desolate. There's just nobody for miles and miles. But it's nice. I like that. I actually prefer roads like that versus the main highway. Um, when you're on the main highway, I'm not saying the main highway is not beautiful, but I don't know. I always preferred when I was going on the on the road that was least traveled. Uh, and I know that's in a song somewhere, but yeah, I prefer the roads that are not as popular. Generally, you see less trash, you see less things in terms of civilization. I totally butchered that word. But if you've been a truck driver, you know what I'm talking about. If you're watching my channel and you're not yet a truck driver, you may understand what I'm saying, you may not understand what I'm saying. But the main highways have some pros, but I prefer that a highway that's just open. Um, Going into that, let's talk about something that if you're not a truck driver, you won't understand until you're a truck driver. Yeah, I feel you on the West Virginia. Um, some of the toll roads, I will say some of the toll roads out east can be fun, but not as bad as maybe 20 in Louisiana. 20 in Louisiana, if you have teeth, they will rock your teeth out. So if you have a loose tooth, go down in 20 in uh, Louisiana. You won't have that tooth anymore. Um, but if you're a truck driver, you're going to understand what I'm about to say next. If you're not a truck driver, where this hasn't happened to you yet, you're missing out on something. What am I talking about? Is this. There are some days where you just go to work, you start driving, and excuse me, you're just like, today you're just not feeling it. Okay, you're tired, you're this, you're that, whatever. But then you have some days where you're just driving, and a mix between the road, what you're seeing out your window, maybe the song is just hitting just right, but it's kind of like a really good feeling kind of washes over you, and it's very peaceful, and you just have like this overwhelming feel of absolute freedom. um I'm trying to think of the words to explain it. It's very hard to explain, and I've tried to tell my students this, but when you get to that point of driving on those days, that's something to remember. It's just when everything goes just right. It's nice. Um, Talking about another thing, if now that I got 6 people watching, another thing that I will say, if you've been on the road for a while, or no, sorry, I'm starting that wrong. If you're just starting out on the road, the one thing I think a lot of people, or a lot of trainers don't explain, is that depression. In the beginning, I've known drivers who drove for 6 months to a year and then quit because of depression. Because one of the hardest things to do is to walk away from family knowing you're not going to see them for a couple weeks, that you're going to be out on the road. You're going to miss, going out and being with friends on the weekend. You're going to miss parties, birthdays, get-togethers. You're going to see things on Facebook of what people are doing back home, and you're not able to participate. For some people, it hits harder. For some people, they can deal with it just fine. But that's something you really need to understand, that when exactly like that, Steve. Exactly. The it's kind of hard to explain, but for some drivers, it happens quite a bit. but there's just a overwhelming sensation of endorphins. Okay, it is. I'm not gonna say it's as good as sex or adulting. Um, but it's just a severe, overwhelming how you feel at that moment type deal. Um, totally, yeah. Um, I got a crypto chart over here I'm looking at, so I might look over there every now and then. Uh, you know, if I don't go back into trucking, there's things I know I'm definitely gonna miss. Uh, once you're a truck driver, nobody can take that away from you, and you experience things, good, bad, and indifferent, that it just hits you different. Um, the other benefit is when trying to think of a way to explain this part, but when I don't know, not everybody. I don't care if you went through school or you drove for a year. Not everybody always becomes, or I would say, they don't get the title of a truck driver. To really have the, so to speak, title of a truck driver, in my opinion, is when I don't want to say you master the skills. It's not necessarily about that. It's not about anything like that. I don't know how to explain it, but for some people, it's just a job. Um, and I don't want to also be like one of those people where it's like, you know, truck driving, it's a lifestyle. Like, oh my, like if you're a Harley rider, you must be a biker gang or something. It's not that. It's just that even yeah, Teresa. It there's just something like when you go from just being a driver to where I call someone a truck driver. There's a certain level of not respect, but a driver is going to make, I would say, stupid mistakes. They don't, they'll run the truck out of fuel. They will not ever do a pre trip, or they're just not doing something that they should be doing. Okay. To me, that is a driver. But a truck driver, it doesn't matter what truck you put them in, what trailer they're pulling, or where you're sending them, they're going to get the job done. They know what they're doing. There's a certain amount of respect that they put into what they're doing. Um, I don't know if I'm correlating that into words correctly, but there's more to it than just driving a truck. And for some people, that's all they are. that they're just a driver. But when you go from being a driver to a truck driver, you just kind of you see things a little bit different. Okay, you're not gonna take your truck and ride up on somebody's tail and cut people off. That's a driver. A truck driver is not going to do that because they respect the road. They respect the other drivers on the road. And their level of safety is much higher than a driver. It's the little things like that. To me, that's what takes someone from being a driver to being a truck driver. That's my opinion. Um, Hello, broke, broken. My recovery, I can't lift my left arm. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but um, I'm waiting to see an orthopedic surgeon, and it looks like I'm going to be going to surgery. So that's kind of what it's looking like. Let me see what Stevie said here for me. Yeah, Stevie, it it is a lifestyle. It is a career. It is a definitely a skill set. I don't know if I would say there's nothing else that you can do, but even when you walk away from trucking and you're like, I'm done with it, you're always going to turn around in the back of your mind, maybe when you go to sleep or whatever. There's things about truck driving you will miss. I mean, there's some days where I feel like just going out for a drive out on the highway and going, 500, 600 miles in a car. It's just something that it's kind of special. Um, and yeah, dealing with stupid people all day long. Um, Actually, let's talk about stupid people and dealing with them all day long. One of the things I always did with my students was I would always take them through the worst traffic I could. So if we were up in New York, their very first day would be going to New York City. And it wasn't because it was New York City. It wasn't because of really anything other than the fact that there's a lot of traffic and stupid drivers. A driver that's driving a truck does not have um, patience. They're going to cut people off. They're going to drive unsmart, I'll say. Where a truck driver understands, hey, look, that's an idiot driver. It's better to not get into an accident and have to fill out paperwork and then waiting for your truck to get fixed. It is knowing how to be a professional driver, how to where understand that if you don't drive that extra mile today, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, you're down a mile, big deal. You're down 5 miles, big deal. Guess what? You have miles to drive tomorrow. You got miles to drive next week. You got miles to do next year. You have miles to do, period. You know, as a truck driver, your job is going from point A to point B. You don't have to try to do that in one day. If it takes you longer, it takes you longer. Being a driver means you don't know when to shut down when you should. Being a truck driver, you understand that, hey, the weather is not good, or there's ice and snow, or whatever. And knowing when to park it, or knowing when to drive, when to keep going or not. There's no one answer. Um, it's a never-ending skill set that you have to work on. And that to me is when someone else also becomes from a driver to a truck driver. Uh, Teresa, I completely agree with you on that one, but let me say something. I don't, when someone cuts me off, unless there's an immediate issue, I don't want to blow my air horn. Because if you blow the air horn, they could slam on the brakes. A collision could happen. Uh, Someone else might get scared, think you're trying to move over, and cause a collision. Um, and yeah, these are like, I understand, one in a million chances. Okay. But yeah, uh, Steve, that's pretty funny. Yeah, the amount of people that I've had people flip me off, and I just smile and wave because at the end of the day, you're driving a car. I'm driving an 18 wheeler. Um, I have a front facing camera, and so I'm going to maneuver my vehicle as safely as I can. But if someone causes an accident, not my problem. But I'd rather not have the accident because that's going to take my time. All right. I might look a little weird doing this, but honey is good for your throat. I've had some allergies, so my throat's been a little scratchy, and honey really does help with that. Ah, I should really be doing some of the things I need to be doing, but I don't feel like doing them, and that's kind of sad. Um, all right, Teresa, Steve, let me ask you guys this: Why did y'all get into trucking? Why did you pick trucking? What got you into it? And while I wait for you guys to answer that, let me say why I went into trucking. That's a question I think I've had a few times, but hey, why not? It would be a good topic to talk about. So I got into trucking. Yeah, Teresa, I don't like that either because that's very dangerous, extremely. But the reason why I got into trucking, back in 2014, I suffered a spinal cord injury. During that time, though, I had owned and operated my own company. And it was doing really well. But 2014, I suffered a spinal injury. And I didn't have health insurance because I was kind of young. I mean, hell, how old was I? I don't even. 22. Let's try 14 equals 8. So 8 years ago, I was 23, 24 years old, something like that. So being, you know, in my young 20s, I thought I didn't need to have health insurance. So I didn't have health insurance. I was like, I'm making enough money. If I need to go see the doctor, I'll just go see the doctor. Yeah, spinal injury, not cheap. How did trucking choose you, Steve? So I ended up having to spend a lot of money for 6 back operations on my lower back. Um, and in 2015, My father was diagnosed with cancer, bladder cancer. And my father had actually just gotten back home and he was trying to help me uh, late 2014, early 2015, because he used to work out of town a lot. But when I got hurt, anyway, he came into town and got a different job and everything else. So as I started to get better, he was diagnosed with cancer. And he was still employed for like 6 months or so after that. His company that he was working for was really awesome about leaving him on the books. But after it was like 6, 7 months, my dad just couldn't work at all. He couldn't even work from home. So they ended up paying a bunch of money, for his cancer treatment and everything else. But uh, the owner ended up having to let him go because he had a partner, and the partner didn't want to keep paying my dad the amount of money that he was. Uh, so that was that. Uh, and then as I'm starting to get better, he was getting worse. So I started to, you know, pay for medical treatment. And cancer is not cheap. And so, long story short, he died 2 years, almost 2 years after he was first diagnosed. And I was over 60, almost $70,000 in debt. Uh, Teresa, that's a very uh, always lead by example. That's really good. Has anyone else in your family went the trucker path? Let me know. So I was like $67,000 in debt. I sold off both my companies, and so I was kind of broke. I don't even think I had two nickels to rub together. Maybe pennies. I don't know. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do work wise, and I had one company that was going to offer me 6 figures to go work for them, but I didn't trust him. He ripped me off before, so I didn't want to go work for that dude. And come to find out later, a couple years later, the guy is loaded with money, but he ended up in jail because, yeah. Anyway, uh, my business and his business did a lot of business together. There's more information there, but I'm like that would be like an hour long conversation. Anyway, so uh, oh, okay. Any other females went to trucking there, Teresa, in your family, or just you and the males? Trucking is, I think, actually a really good avenue for female drivers, especially with these newer trucks. They're very easy to drive. But I was looking at a few different options, and trucking seemed like to be a really good one. And, I was a country bumpkin, so I knew how to drive a big truck. So I just went down to DMV, took the test, and passed it. Uh, and I rented a truck for $600, and took a test and passed that. And that's how I got into trucking. So a little bit of details there. Ah, I see, Steve. Uh, Hopefully your dad's health is better. Well, I see, Teresa. Uh, Swift is a great company to start out in. Okay, I'm not gonna say that there aren't. Me and Swift parted ways on good terms, and Swift was actually trying to hire me back. I think it was in January for a non-driving a non-driving position. Um, I actually did somewhat contemplate it, but with the whole situation with my arm and it not really being usable, I don't think that position would have worked out in the long run because of that reason. So, uh, yeah, it was not officially offered, but it was an option. Um, yeah, Steve, same here. The only thing that I'd say in trucking that may be difficult for a female driver would be doing flatbed. And not so much because flatbed, but because of those tarps. I'm a skinny person. I weigh 180. Um, and that's with boots, shoes, clothing, and everything. I'm pretty sure I weigh a little bit less than that without boots on, but hopefully, anyway. Um, Even with me being 180, those tarps can weigh 120, 140 pounds, depending on what style tarp. Now, some of them can be much lighter, 70, 80 pounds. You really need to be, I don't want to say a big guy, but if you got to start throwing tarps, it's not easy. Now, I've seen some females that are truck drivers that can throw tarps. And I've seen some old ass guys that can throw tarps. But I would say to be a flatbedder and having to throw tarps, it's very physically demanding. Now, if you just had a chain or strap down, I can see, hell, I can do that. Uh, and I think most people could. It's just when you got to start messing with those tarps, they're freaking heavy. Um, but yeah, no, if you're hauling cars, completely doable, male or female. If you're doing dry van or anything else, not a problem. Uh, so yeah, yeah. And I would also say, I think in truck driving is really good for not just females, but people of who could be gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever. It really has the ability to be a great paying job where you don't have to worry about working uh, in an office. So you got freedom, which is also quite nice. But yeah, Teresa, I was a door swinger too. I didn't give a fuck. Flatbed, I'm gonna pass on it. Uh, like I said, if it was just about chaining or strapping, I wouldn't have a problem with flatbed. But I ain't tarping. It'd be my luck. I have a 140-pound tarp. I'm up in Wyoming. It's windy and it's snowing and raining somehow all at once on me. And I have to tarp something. Yeah, no, I'll pass. Hard pass. Uh, I like dry vans. Uh, Either dry or reefer. I'll pull either. Um, I ain't doing flatbed. I ain't messing with tarps. Yeah, same here. Dry and reefer. Um, I like reefer sometimes because uh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to say it, but reefers you generally you stay moving a little bit better sometimes than you do with dry. Sometimes with dry, you can be sitting for a minute. Or it was like that when I was with Swift. When I was with Orozco, even though I was pulling dry van, they kept me very busy. So I never had to wait for a load. When I was with Swift, I did have to wait. Uh, but Orozco, not so much. They really kept me moving. I really like that. Uh, yeah, I got stuff here and you put it on eBay. I just haven't. I just don't want to do it, honestly. So, you guys see, this is my left arm. It's sitting right here on the desk. But what's really sad is I feel it pulling in my arm. I don't want to say it's really painful, but it's not comfortable. And it was not even side loaded or like really extended out or anything like that. Just, it's kind of frustrating. Hmm. Anyway, yeah, there was days I absolutely loved the job, and then there was days where I didn't. But I think that's true with any job. Being a service to others, uh, I don't know if I would say I had found a lot of enjoyment in that because you're just picking stuff up at a shipper and then taking it to a receiver 90% of the time. But when you did get to take something to a small company or a small business, um, and they're really friendly, like I went to this one place to pick up pillows, and come to find out they were a manufacturer of pillows and they sold their pillows to Walmart, to some hotels and stuff like that. um, the people there were really super friendly. I joked asking them if I could have some pillows because I didn't have any pillows on the truck at the time. It's when I just started out with the Orozco and I didn't have all my stuff on the truck yet. And so I joked and I was like, can I have some pillows? And they were like, yeah, sure. And they gave me one. And I was like, uh, I was a little confused. And I was like, all right, cool. How much? Because I was going to pay for it. I mean, I wasn't expecting to get anything for free. And he was just like, oh, you don't need to pay. You can have them. And I found out later it was actually two pillows inside the bag. I totally would have paid for them. Um, yeah, I liked going to that place because they were super friendly the entire time. I've been to other places where the people are just really friendly. And when they respect you and they kind of go like that extra mile, it's that does give you a really good feeling. Um, but I found like if you're delivering or picking up from a big company, you don't get that sometimes. Actually, a lot of times. To them, it's just here's your shit, go to this door, and then get your shit and leave. There was not that personal touch. But when I did get to do one of those personal touch deals, I really enjoyed it. Uh, so yeah. Broken. I actually did think about doing that, and I was going to do that. I was going to do that, go percent option in January. Uh, I wanted to basically just keep it straight per mile until uh, in January, just to keep the taxes simple. And then I was going to go percentage wise for like a month or two and kind of see what happened. And I might have switched back to just by the mile. But VORED, what is that? Um, I don't know. That's someone in China. All right, I just deleted that message. I think that was spam, or maybe someone just typed something in wrong. I don't know, but it's gone now. But no, I didn't do the percentage deal. I was really thinking about it, but never got that far. Um, if I did talk to some drivers, and they liked the percentage deal. They said they made better than the mileage. Um, so yeah, I was really thinking about doing it. Like I said, in January. That was the plan. Uh, I know I got 5 of you guys watching, but I think here in the next few minutes I might log off. I've already been streaming for what 87 minutes. And I got some things I really need to get done today. Um, but it was really nice being able to chat with you guys. It's been a while. Uh, yeah. Any final questions from anybody? Yeah, Teresa, I don't know if I would buy a truck. Honestly, I like the idea that if I wanted to go home or I got sick or whatever, go on vacation, that I didn't need to worry about a truck payment. Uh, I really like the idea that I could just be like, I'm going home or switching companies. You didn't have to try to move a truck from one company to another company. Um, and that was one thing I really did like about Orosco. They pay like owner op pay, but you don't have to pay for the fuel and you don't have to pay for the truck. That was something I really enjoyed there and made a killing. Like I said, I can make 600 some odd dollars a day. Um, yeah, it was pretty nice. Uh, I'm actually in the middle of doing my taxes on that. Uh, I'll put up maybe a Facebook or YouTube post. I don't know, kind of saying how much money I made and how much time. 'Cause I have that on my taxes. All right, I gotta take this call, so I'm gonna call this the end, and I'll catch up with you guys later.